Oh, God.
Did you see Newsom on Hannity? Did you see how he did?
I didn't.
I think he did very well. I think
American Psycho, slick as hell.
I think he did. I think he did very, very well. If you're a Democrat, Newsom was 10 times more presidential than Biden was, and it's not even close. Okay, so for him to have the audacity to go to Fox's Best Today, which is Hannity today, not Tucker, but Fox's Best Today, Hannity, he goes and sits with them, and he hangs, and he pushes back with Hannity. So from your perspective, you made a comment earlier about Newsom. Is this the reason why these guys are asking a question? Are they kind of trying to corner Biden for him to step out so Newsom can go run? Is it going to be a Newsom DeSantis, Newsom Trump? What is this going to happen here?
Patrick, I'm so glad you brought that up because I have this problem with not hitting the most obvious thing. You're absolutely right. That's it. They're getting ready to take out the garbage with Biden. I think they'll probably kill him, or he'll die in his sleep, or he'll have
fall down some stairs,
or be drugged or whatever, or at least be in a coma very soon. And I've got very high level sources you got people dug in the Democratic Party. Roger Stone's totally dialed in. He was on my show yesterday, and he said they're crazy enough that they're thinking this is what Democrats are saying right now. Okay, Big Mike, Michelle Obama, and then VP Newsom or Newsom, but Obama is. And he's the real president right now, third term, elected.
We have a video.
He's now coming back out and saying, I'm involved now. So, yeah, they're getting ready to get rid of Biden. That's the only reason. Those reporters are all on a leash. None of them ever ask a question for the 2.5 years. Suddenly, they're all attacking.
Yep.
It's because they've been let off the leash because Biden was supposed to, like he said right before he won the election, remember he said, well, if I don't do what I'm told, I'll probably just develop some weird disease and resign. Remember that quote?
Yep.
He said it multiple times, letting them know, hey, I'm your man. Well, his brain was still there. Remember the deals then. But according to Roger Stone and other sources, and Roger's dead on, he hangs out with, he talks to some of the high-level Democrats. Jill Biden is telling him, don't leave. She likes the power, and he's told them F off. In fact, now he's not even following Obama's orders.
You think so?
Oh, no, I mean,
Jill?
oh yeah.
Jill's in charge.
Jill's in charge because he didn't know who he is. I mean, she literally, remember he walked out of the White House, he said, my butt's been wiped. I was told by the NYPD and Secret Service a year and a half ago when he went, remember he kept showing up late and changing clothes like 3 times? Mm-hmm. That when he gets mad, when he goes in these weird, because they get him on speed and a bunch of stuff to roll him out and hope it's okay, and it's not now. But when he gets mad, he takes a big dump in his drawers. I'm serious, okay? You've got him saying my butt's been wiped. So that goes
Alex.
on.
He did say it. I've seen the video.
Can we fact check?
Yeah,
So Alex claimed that he said that he would develop. Biden said that he would develop some sort of cognitive disease and resign if he didn't follow the plan.
Let's see.
And here's the clip.
Let's see.
But all kidding aside,
The first lady-to-be told me she holds them for you.
yes, she does. But not with she and Kamala have become friends.
Yeah.
But all kidding aside, it's a matter of the thing. We are simpatico on our philosophy of government and simpatico on how we want to approach these issues that we're facing. And so I don't have, and when we disagree, it'll be just like, so far it's been just like when Barack and I did. It's in private. She'll say, I think we should do A, B, C, or D. And I'll say, I like A, don't like B and C. Mm-hmm. And it's go, okay. And like I told Barack, if I reach something where there's a fundamental disagreement we have based on a moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
Bingo.
We don't have that. We haven't, and we discussed at length.
It's your face.
Our views on.
Yeah, and Alex, have you because he said this multiple times.
But look how much he's declined in 3 years.
Oh, that's horrible.
I mean, he's a little daughter, but he is gone.
Yeah, but he wasn't even there
It's
then.
not when milk's
Yeah,
a little, when milk kind of tastes a little
You're
bad,
right.
but then later it's like cottage cheese and just you open it, ugh. I mean, he's now a rotting carton of milk.
And Alex, how many times have you heard him say, the president of the United States, hey, I can't, I got to get out of here. They told me I can't do this, or they told me I can't say that.
No, but he found that clip I forgot about. There's another one where he says, look, I'm not doing what they want. I'll just get a disease and resign. He said it at least twice. So he said it in the current context like a year ago or something. So
Rob, is this it or no?
This is the clip where
He says the
the
white
president talks about his butt being wiped.
Go ahead.
What?
Must it be reconciliation?
What must be what?
My butt's been wiped.
A pathway for citizenship.
There needs to be a pathway for citizenship.
No, it's not fake. We got it on Fox.
Can we show? Wait, you nailed this. You were talking about
What did he
Obama.
actually say?
No, guys, I don't want to
get distracted.
So I will say, I think that clip that they found was from back when Biden was VP, just for full transparency. That's the impression that I got. I fully believe at this point, Alex Jones, he has proved himself to not be as crazy as he comes off with the things that he's saying. And so the scary things listening to Alex at this point are the crazy things that he says. I really am starting to believe that most of what he says is true. And that was definitely not the case when, prior to his punishment for all these things, when he was more visible, I would listen to him, but it was more of an entertainment value. Now it's genuinely concerning, the things that he says, because I actually believe that they're going to happen. And then, yeah, I mean, he quotes this stuff and they pull the clips right up. It's, man, I can't believe more people are not paying attention. They're just tuned out. They don't care. They feel like they can't do anything, which I get. But giving up is not the answer. Giving up is what they're trying to get you to do. So please don't give up. Please pay fucking attention. Tune in. And push back. These people aren't invincible. There's millions of us, hundreds of millions of us, and a few thousand of them at best. Maybe a few hundred. I mean, actual positions of power.
I don't want to get the guys
Let me
in
just
trouble.
ask the question. Here's the question. The question is, Newsom, DeSantis, Newsom, Trump, Biden, Trump, what's going to end up happening?
Well, I mean, Trump was 5-6 points ahead of Biden until he got indicted, and now he's like 15 to 20 in scientific polls. It's a spectrum. He's in a bunch of national polls of Republican voters. He is 57 on the low to 72 points ahead. I mean, the whole field, Chris Christie, all of them, your governor here, DeSantis, they are getting 30, 35 points. And then Trump gets all the rest. So, and the more they indict him, like I remember when they indicted him again a few weeks ago, they go, well, the New York indictment of Alvin Bragg, that made him go up, but this time people are going to turn on him. No, he went up like 5, 10 more points after that. So I guess if they indict him like 18 more times, he'll have like 99% with Republicans. I mean, people know that they're telling him like. You got a dog, it's a sweet dog, but even if it's a Labrador Retriever, you start trying to take something away from it, it's going to tug a war with you. And they're telling you can't have Trump, and it's just the more they do it, the people are getting madder and madder, like, I want this, and it's just insane. So it's the unstoppable object.
Unmovable object.
Unmovable object comes into contact with the unstoppable force, and it just explodes. And so, I mean, they intend to indict him on January 6th for the electors. They're trying to cook it up. This is a 20-page article 3 days ago in Washington Post that I commanded the attack on the Capitol with Trump. Completely insane. Didn't even talk to Trump for like a year before that. Tried to stop people going to the Capitol when I got there. We had a whole stage booked with.
Speaking of him being right, he was there on January 6th. He was telling people not to go inside. He was telling people to organize in the approved space. He was telling them that even though the doors were being held, and the guards were letting people in, nobody was breaking in anywhere. There's footage of guards escorting the what's the shaman, the buffalo shaman or whatever his headdress was. That guy was having officers open the door for him. That was not an adversarial situation at all. The guards were aware he was there. They were walking around with him. He still got railroaded into whatever charges they had against him because they had to make an example out of people. We can't show up at the Capitol. That's their place, even though we pay for all the shit. We elect them. We're not welcome. That's a closed door situation or whatever. Bunch of useless fucks there.
With the Capitol Police and everything for him on the northeast corner. And we get there, there's no police, no one. They just left us high and dry and then set us up. Now they have congressional reports that D.C. police were the ones dressed up breaking in and then getting the idiots to go in behind them. I mean, congressmen have said that. Congressman has seen, they're now releasing the footage of the D.C.
Are they going to succeed? Are they going to succeed to prevent him from running?
I mean, they're succeeding in a civil war right now in Russia. I mean, yeah, the globalists hijacked the most powerful country in the world with all our ingenuity and all our money and all our power, and the world's in deep trouble. And again, it's not like I'm saying China or Russia are good either. It's just a monstrous situation. And if people don't get serious and get out of their comfort zones, I think they're going to demonize him, indict him. And then I think they'll blow his airplane up. I really, at a gut level, believe they're going to kill Trump.
Who's this? Trump?
I believe the deep state establishment will murder him. I believe he's going to steadfast go through all this. He'll be 30 points ahead in the primaries. Nothing's going to stop him. And then they just, he dies of a heart attack because they poison him or they blow his airplane up. And I think, and Trump, by the way, has talked to Roger and others and said, I'm ready to die, I'm committed, I'm going all the way. So
you think if they, you're saying they're going to do that, they would have already done it? Like, why haven't they already done it?
Because that turns him into a martyr, and they'd rather assassinate the person. They saw what JFK did to him. This will be 50. Look, they are not, the higher ups and some of their smarter ones are not stupid. They're like, if we kill him, it'll.
So Trump is, he's such a polarizing figure. No one can agree when he's in office. So I don't have a personal problem with him or his views. It's just for unifying the country, for moving forward, for coming together as a nation, for turning the ship around that's headed for the rocks, because things are not good. Like he said, we got the Ukrainian war going on. You got stuff with the Biden family coming out. They're distracting us with UFOs. They keep us arguing about race and gender and other bullshit that doesn't matter. Like, everybody do their own thing. It's a free country. Just focus on it being a free country and stop oppressing people and as a government, stop telling people what they can and can't do. Let people be free. I think RFK is the guy that so far I'm looking at and saying this is a Democrat who has views that align with classic liberalism, smaller government, personal freedoms, personal liberties, free speech, smaller military, smaller government, smaller spending, anti-establishment guy. His uncle JFK got killed for pushing back against all these huge forces. And so I'm not saying there is a chance to have any unity or unify the country, but I hope there is. And I think that a figure like that, who is a registered Democrat but has some views that conservatives can get behind as well. There used to be moderates in the government, and they're calling RFK an extremist because he's not espousing the new party line. The far left is just crazy shit. Live birth abortions in New York and 10-year age gaps between people. I think California and another state, 2 states have a law on the books now that allows for a 10-year age gap. So a 14-year-old and a 24-year-old is up to the judge's discretion whether that's a sex crime or not. But that's a 14-year-old should not be anywhere near a 24-year-old sexually. The power dynamic and the brain development is just not there. Like, that's a child. And they just want to keep us fighting, because if we stop fighting and actually start talking about the issues that are important to us, it's gonna be bad for them, because the issues that they're pushing and trying to get us on board with, people just aren't pushing back. But people aren't behind that. People don't want to destroy America and destroy the values that built this country. It's just ridiculous.
It'll cause way bigger problems down the road. Don't do it. But before they let him get in charge and prosecute them, which Trump said he will, he goes, I'm getting in, I'll be destroyed, and you'll be destroyed with me, or they'll be destroyed. It's a death battle. This isn't like some cage fight with Zuckerberg. And everybody's like, oh, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, biggest thing ever. Yeah, great. 2 modern emperors, tech titans. When Rome was collapsing, they had emperors as gladiators. Now, the movie Gladiator is actually, again, a composite of a bunch of true stories. That really happened. And the whole point is, while we're all watching this stupid stuff in the submarine and the gladiators, literally the president who I believe won the election, not supposed to say that. Oh, he barely lost. Trump, now to have them put him in jail so we can't vote for him or whatever. It's
The only thing that sticks out for me with Biden is he's the most voted for president, even beyond Obama. And Obama is a charismatic guy. Biden pulled in more votes than Obama. I mean, and a lot of votes seem to come in late. I don't know, you know? But I will say that something stinks a little bit. And when something stinks, usually there's some shit around.
It's just not going to fly. It's not going to happen. And so, but at the same time, you saw what Comey and others said on TV. Well, whatever we do, we got to stop him.
Yep.
He can't be allowed in because he'll put us in prison. And remember, you can pull this clip up. Biden said last December, like December 13th, as I played the clip last week on my show, he said repeatedly, Biden says we will not allow Trump to be president again. And he says, we'll use whatever we have to with law enforcement and the Constitution to make sure he's not president. And he just laughs arrogantly. He's like, people are like, hey, what about Hunter? He's like, you know, it's just, it's lunacy. But time's running out. So they still have the power. They're still the executive in control. So if you're the guy with the doomsday button, you can hit it. You think you win, but you blow yourself up at the same time.
Yep.
So they've already destroyed themselves. The only question is, can they take us with them?
Alex, what do you say about some of the people that are saying the left is too calm during all this and they're planning something, let's just say during the election year, another pandemic is probably going to hit, which they've been warning us about that. Even the WHO, Biden, he said it, Biden said, and you can find that, Rob, and I quote, there's going to be a second pandemic. It's like he's a psychic. There's an internet apocalypse they're talking about, or even like a staged alien invasion. Do you feel like something?
Well, you just said it. That's a great question. How do they stop Trump?
Yep.
He dies in his sleep as they poison him, or he naturally dies, which I don't think will happen. The guy's as strong as a horse. That Scottish, German blood he's got going there. And then, so there's that. And absolutely, a stock market crash, an EMP that knocks out the power for a few months. Oh, we can't have it right now. Another virus through the mail-in thing.
Keep us home.
In fact, the UN says imminent virus coming. Yeah, I think, there's a lot of ways for them to skin the cat. But I'm telling you, these indictments aren't working.
They're not.
So you're saying, based on what you're saying it's still going to be Newsom Trump.
I'm part of.
Is that what you're saying? Like
Newsom's
come next year.
Newsom's the serious candidate, and who they now admit. You see him getting out of deep freeze, rolling him out, getting him ready. But they're thinking about the wild card. Obama has warmed to Newsom, and right now there's discussions. This is real. There's discussions of Michelle Obama as the president and Newsom, or should it be Newsom president, Michelle Obama vice president?
That would be, by the way, that's going to be tough to beat.
It's a powerhouse.
That's going to be tough to beat. So, what do you think?
They're both incredible men.
What are your thoughts on DeSantis?
Alex, can I just?
I'm just joking. Joan Rivers made a joke about it too.
She did. Yeah, she died 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
What do you think about DeSantis? What are your thoughts on DeSantis?
I think DeSantis, when he was running his own show 6 months ago, was heartfelt, doing great things, standing up to stuff, really doing a great job for Florida. Then he started getting with Republican strategist Karl Rove and Jeb Bush, and they're now advising him. Now he's following a script, and he's not being authentic. And as soon as they indicted Trump, Trump went 30 points ahead of him. So, I mean, DeSantis needs to know he's being kamikazed into Trump, and that the system knows he's not going to beat him.
It is crazy that they're indicting Trump again. I mean, they indicted him for false charges. They dragged that out forever. And now, I mean, they're so desperate. They're indicting him again for something that we have record of prior elected officials doing the same thing, compromising secret information, top secret information, classified, whatever classification it's got, not handling it properly. Someone who I don't want to name because I don't want to get shot in the back of the head is had an email server at their house with like 20,000 emails on it, and there's no action taken on that. I've heard that other presidents have taken some of their papers. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on all this stuff, but it's just generally you don't throw rocks if you live in a glass house. And based on the behavior of these other politicians, I don't think they understand that they all live in a glass house. They're all doing some bullshit that they should be indicted for, probably. They just haven't been caught, and the machine isn't ginned up and ready to turn on them. But yeah, they're all guilty of the same shit. They're all a bunch of dirtbags. The whole drain the swamp thing, that was the only hope that I've heard in my lifetime of getting rid of some of those corrupt figures that just seem to stick around forever and make hundreds of millions of dollars somehow on their $175,000 a year. Big mystery how that works.
And they're not going to let DeSantis have it either. And so DeSantis needs to understand that he should get behind Trump and reprieve himself. I mean, Trump's not perfect, but now that they're trying to take my right to vote for him, and the fact that he's got such balls in doing this, I would be a coward because they'd come after me because of the support. I've been told, stop supporting Trump and all your problems will stop. I mean, I've been told that in mediations, okay? Not supposed to talk about that, but I mean, it's literally stop this, back off, and we'll leave you alone or you're done. I'm like, hey, at a certain point, I can't just roll over and be a coward. So you've made me be all in for Trump. I mean, I just can't do it as a man. I can't be told, you know. I mean, down in Texas, where the mafia never did too well, because you tell them to come tell somebody there, I'm going to your business guy just pulls a gun out, you know, and shoot you. You may send more guys to get me later. That's great. My kinfolks are coming for you. So I just can't. It's not even like a macho thing. I can't be pushed around. I'm gonna die then. That's okay. But the point is, you're gonna die too. At a certain point, these guys got to figure out. You'll fire your musket, but I'll run you through. The Iron Maiden's, you know, first opening line of the trooper. You'll fire your musket, but I'll run you through. So,
Alex, let me kind of bring this in for a second. You've made some opinions, some claims, some thoughts, some jokes, some hyperbole, all that. My opinion, and then I'm going to ask it too. I don't think Barack Obama is running the country right now. My opinion. Well, I don't think Michelle Obama is a man. I don't think she was ever a man. My opinion. I don't think Gavin Newsom is going to be that dude that's running. He has done nothing but endorse Biden. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this, right? At the same time, I don't think they're going to kill Trump. I think he's going to be that dude on stage. I think he's going to probably be the nominee. We'll see what happens with DeSantis. We'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to kill in his sleep. I'm just, you know how you say sometimes you just got to face reality and see what's in front of your face. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a Biden-Trump presidential debate. And then here's my question. Don't you want that? Don't you?
Yes, I'd rather that be entertaining.
Okay, that's my freaking point. Don't you want that? If Biden is as nuts, lost, delusional as people say, don't you want Trump to expose that on a national stage and prove everybody right?
But of course, but I don't. And they make it as a sick joke. Let him debate a vegetable, and then still steal it from him.
No, because they're going to debate, and then the world is going to see whether or not Biden is competent or not. Because you could say whatever you want about Trump, he hasn't lost a step.
I don't think we need to wait for debate. I mean, you can see Biden is losing it. There's no way that this guy gets a second term. There's no way. And I mean, let's put aside any conspiracy theories about whether or not the last election was valid or not. There's no way that we're going to be sleeping this time when the ballots are being counted. So we got to have people at the ballot stations observing this and making sure that that this is legitimate. And if it's legitimate, I can't picture how a legitimate election happens with Biden getting more votes than Trump when he's mentally incapacitated and is pretty much incapable of coherent, cogent thought and speech in a lot of cases. It seems like if he's on whatever juice they give him to get him juiced up for speeches, he does okay. But when if you catch him on an off day or whatever's going on, he says stuff like what we saw, just had my butt wiped or I mean, you can barely make it out, but that's what it sounds like.
He still has energy. He's still there. Yep. Whether you think he's a criminal, whether you think he's a hero and a deity, he hasn't lost a step. Biden clearly has. But don't you want that? Don't you want that basically, that rematch to basically?
I 100% would rather them not.
Want,
well, let me just tell you this. And I said this before it came out, and he said it on Joe Rogan's show, that he's afraid the CIA will kill him, and they killed his dad and his uncle. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. doesn't want to give speeches out in the public now because he knows that's real.
RFK,
and let me
baby.
tell you, Trump knows there's plans to kill him. And if they can get some crazy to do it, and plausible deniability, they will. They shot Ronald Reagan, and then Hinckley Jr. was having dinner with with the Bushes in Colorado 3 days before. I mean, this is serious. Look it up, Denver Post. So this is
Rob, look it up. Did you hear what he said?
What was the Denver Post?
Hinckley Jr.
Well, it was Hinckley's brother and dad were having dinner, but he was also best friends with the Bushes, CIA. Hinckley's having dinner with Bush's week of Reagan being shot. Anyways, they let him out of prison recently. What I'm getting at here is that this is from real politicos. This is from Roger Stone. Okay, I mean the guy got Trump to run. Okay, and what I'm telling you is that they say you see all these puff pieces about Michelle Obama and Gavin Newsom and the rest of it. Biden could die at any time. I mean, he could just fall over. So I'm telling what real people are telling me. It doesn't mean they're totally right. Okay, and as for Michelle Obama, of course Michelle Obama is a beautiful woman, and of course, no, I'm serious when I say this. Of course, Joan Rivers was just joking. Have you seen the Joan Rivers clip?
Joan
Yeah, of
Rivers
course,
said it, and then
course.
she died, 2 weeks later?
Yeah, because she was fucking 88 years old.
I don't know about that. Well, the timing is perfect. The timing is perfect. But can I say one thing?
Okay,
though?
Alex Jones, you've been called a conspiracy theorist. Meet your master right there.
Congratulations.
Meet your master
I'll
right
take
there.
it. Well, you just said that
Yeah.
Obama. You don't think Obama's running the country? This was Obama on Stephen Colbert, the leftist hack show, 2 years ago. Can you play what he said about the presidency? Go ahead, Rob.
And what you know now, do you wish like you had a third term?
Be right back. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with that.
I'd be totally fine with it.
Vinny, as a comedian, as a professional comedian, the #1 Assyrian comedian in the world, you have the ability to decipher satire, joking.
Yeah.
Do you think he was actually coming out and saying, yes, this is my third term? Come on, man.
Adam, I think there's a little truth in everything, especially as a comedian. But let's just be honest with each other. Do you actually think that Joe Biden right now is actually making the decisions and tweeting and doing everything that he's doing? Be honest with me.
I think he has a team around him that is helping him make the decisions.
Okay,
yes.
making decisions. Have you ever heard in your life a president say, "Oh, I can't do this because they told me that I can't speak, or they told me I can't do this.
Show me
I'm
the
gonna get in
quote.
trouble."
Show me the link.
Rob, can you show? Could you
Look,
show?
do I think that Biden
That guy's
is a
never
strong
seen it?
president?
No,
do I
he
think
said
he's
it
all there?
multiple
No.
times.
No, not strong. Is he
Okay.
making
Oh,
any?
I
No,
I
but
can't
when you
answer
say,
that. They
wouldn't
said I
you
can't
like?
answer
Of
it.
course,
I've
I'd
seen
like
the
to see
clip.
that.
Could you find that?
I'm just telling you, they are. Why do you think here's the key. It's just what Patrick said earlier. Why do you think they're allowing everybody to attack Biden now when they covered it all up before? Because now they want him to step down. The Democrat system is telling him step down. And they can create all this new energy and about who it's going to be. They're telling him to
Well,
go.
we're going to find out if he actually is the nominee, because then that will be the inaccurate.
I mean,
point,
just so you know, and I'm not bragging, because
Yeah.
you guys have dinner with high-powered people and talk to everybody too, okay?
We have dinner with guys like you, too.
No, but what I'm saying is, this is directly from inside the Trump camp at the highest levels and directly from inside the Democratic Party. So they do not want Biden. They are seriously talking about this.
As they should.
Yeah.
His approval
I'm not
ratings.
saying I'm not making a
Yeah.
prediction. I'm not making a prediction. I'm saying they don't like what's going on. So
Nobody
what do you
does, Alex. Of course, his approval ratings are in the doghouse. He's 80 fucking something years old.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't want him to run. Okay, but he's making the decision to run.
So if you like this clip,
Oh, man. Well, it's going to be a crazy, crazy election season. I personally am, as I said before, hoping for RFK on the Democratic side. Doubtful that's going to happen. I mean, they shit-canned Bernie Sanders because they didn't like him. So I know RFK is not going to be the favored child. And with the superdelegate situation on the Democratic side, which I don't think they've made any changes to, the superdelegates can vote. They can divorce themselves from the public vote and vote however they want. That's how they railroaded the vote away from the candidate the people wanted and put Biden in place. The Republicans don't have the superdelegate system, so their delegates in the Electoral College are beholden to the general electors' vote, the general public vote. So keep that in mind when you are casting your vote, that at least in the primary, it can be rendered meaningless using superdelegates. So it's kind of something that if you are a Democrat, something I would be demanding change for. I'm personally an independent, not on either side of the fence, but if I was heavily invested in that party, I would be saying this is a pretty rotten system where you guys can just ignore us at will. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great afternoon. Catch you soon.